Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon into Leo. Okay, so during the Taurus season, when we have an event in Leo, what's going on is a fourth house event. So there's typically the house of Cancer. And I was making the mistake, it's probably cut out, but I was making the mistake of saying, oh, the moon in Cancer, oh, the moon in Cancer, oh, the moon in Cancer. So what that tells me is that we actually are having the moon in Taurus, but it's in the native, the natural house of Cancer. And there is something very specific about the fourth house. So again, as I said, during the Leo, I mean, during the Taurus season, when there's an event in Leo, it's a fourth house event. And right now we're having a lunation, it's the moon. So the moon is intuition and insight. We're going to have increased intuition and insight around, in the area of the fourth house, which is the home base, it's the mother, it's sometimes inside the vehicle, but it's like our lair, where we go to for privacy, where we kind of retreat to. So it's really the space where we take refuge in the self. It's also peace and security. It's our heart chakra. It's a couple of few things. I could even talk about Kundalini rising, which is honestly, for me as your priestess, when I am when my intuition and my psyche is spilling over itself, stumbling all around, all about the place, about like the fourth house. For me, as a tantrika, it does mean it's something going on with the Kundalini. And then we have Leone there, Leo. So again, the Leo is the strength card. Typically, that would mean Sun in the fifth house. With the Sun card or Leo, the strength card would be. Now I know zodiac wise it's Leo, but astrologically, the strength card would talk about, you know, typically Saturn and the Sun conjunct either Moon, Venus, or again, Saturn. The Sun conjunct Moon, Venus, or Saturn. That's what the strength card is about. So there's something going on with the Kundalini. That's what I'm getting. It can, for a lot of us who aren't priestesses, maybe we're seers or light workers or whatever, what have you. It could be something around a home base. It could be something around a vehicle, transportation. It could be something around something about our private life, maybe inside the house, maybe even inside like the bathroom if we put on makeup there, or like a vanity place where we get ready. Wherever we kind of spray perfume in the house, it could be that place. It could also be the mother. Now, if we are a mother, it could be with the dealing with the children, but in respect towards caring and nurturing. Okay, now it is our private life as well, so why don't we begin? Vertex of Abundance is the galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. If anything that is said resonates deeply with you, go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. From Liminal 11, we'll be using the Modern Witch Tarot to impose the guidance. It's this baseline reading that we're going to be doing here right now. Again, that's by Lisa Storrell, the Modern Witch Tarot. So fourth house energy is telling me that we're manifesting something. Whatever is in our energy field, our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, basically the energy, frequency, vibration, what it's manifesting for us is coming to us, and it's coming right to the gate. However, because we're growing into a bigger, brighter, and better vibration, because we're also going through a karmic expiation, we're purging things that aren't in alignment with the timeline that we want to get into. Some things are held at the gate because of rules, regulations, and restrictions, okay? I don't know what that is about yet, but we're on a high ground from a vantage point. There may even be some protection in our energy or in our aura, or maybe even in our bloodline. I feel like there's been angels assigned. And so we're also piecing and parceling through some of our human experience. I don't know what that is, what that looks like, what that's about, but we are being prepared to gain some kind of intellect, reasoning, communication, or a technical skill, or we're being informed, instructed around some aspect of our supreme authority. Now, everybody has a supreme authority regardless of their spiritual rank, but sometimes it's very minimal, which would mean our consent. We also have, sovereign consent means like it's called energetic self-mastery. Nothing is allowed to come over into our energy. Nothing is allowed to physically touch us unless we consent. Okay. So something is happening also where we're about to like join or receive what's called grace and ennoblement, our soul group. We've been whittling through karma here upon the earth. There's something we need to let down or put down or let go. And there is some kind of cycle. We may be in the dark about love, in the dark about our spiritual teams, whatever that is, whatever that looks like. So maybe we have spirits on the mother side, again, fourth house, that are on the other side. So benevolent, ascended ancestors, exalted, really, ancestors, or ascended masters, spirits, beings that we know as another name, whether it's Allah, Buddha, Shekinah, Jehovah. I don't want to say a God, but like Jesus or the patron saints, or Buddha, or Muhammad, any of that. We might have those, maybe some of the deceased shahs. We may have those as ascended masters. They're on our spirit team. They're there to guide and to protect us. And it is something that's crossed the threshold, meaning they're on the other side. They transitioned from the earth. They've left their body. They've completed their lifetime here upon the earth in the mortal flesh, but they're still very much with us. Okay, and they've cleared the lower astral, so they're in the higher astral, which means they're at least exalted, very benevolent. And I'm hearing that song, sometimes I run, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared of you. I don't know who sings, but all I really want is to hold you tight, treat you right. Yeah, so something needed to clear the gate. And we're being, like I said, prepared, not just for some technical skill or supreme authority or intellect, reasoning, communication, but we're also being prepared for some type of transmission, and maybe a family transmission, something that follows our bloodline that we've been left out, tapped out, tuned out of. So we might have needed to let something go. 10 of Wands is to let something go. So we're going to go ahead and figure out what this baseline energy is about. So as it goes with the Daily Tarot Buffet, we lay a spread here, but the first four cards is going to be the overall energy of the entire spread. So the overall energy, all subsequent cards after that are to clarify or modify the initial energy that we put out. It will be four cards. I will repeat them ad nauseum and infinitum, etc. Please forgive me and thank you. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Hi, hello, and welcome. It's a delight and an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the pleasure to do so. If anything, again, resonates deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button right now if you can. We're a galactic temple of ascension delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. All of our newscasters here, me, myself, and I right now, we are sacred oracles. So, the message is coming from on high. In addition, there's a few things you can do. Typically, not always, but usually, there is a summary of what we discussed today. So, two things really. First of all, check the show notes. If you're on another platform, try to click through to the video. Okay, there should be some kind of link between the Hamsa hands. It'll take you somewhere. For the Daily Tarot Buffet, it's always free. So even if it takes you to like another site and asks you for a donation, there's no paywall. So when you land on that site, there'll be a summary of what we talked about today. And that's the first thing. And then the second thing, you can always like hit the double speed for the video. So like if you go through your settings, it's usually somewhere in the video player. You can actually hit, 1.5 times fast, 1.7, or even 2 times as fast. So the total amount of the reading, the total minutes of the reading, you can half that. I'll be speaking like a chipmunk, but it'll be going quicker, just so you know, because sometimes I'm not in control over the timing. I usually kept the meeting at somewhere between 33 and 45 minutes, but if it goes longer, for the Daily Tarot Buffet, I don't really have much of a choice in that, okay? Thank you for understanding, and I thank you for your continued presence and continued support. Yeah, so we are healing. We're also becoming more humble and earnest, which is good because there's going to be some severe or sincere transitions pretty soon. Okay, so something's coming through, pulling through, coming hard, coming hard. I don't know what that is, but it's happening. And it's not coming at us with the quickness, it's not coming for us, but it's coming through, pulling through. It might be coming back, circling the block even. We have the Knight of Wands, the Star card, the World card, the Page of Wands. As I said, this is for the transiting moon in the sign of Leo during the season of Taurus, giving us a fourth house event. Said fourth house event is a lunation. Okay, the moon has ingressed into Leo during the Taurus season. Any event happening in the sign of Leo is a fourth house event. We happen to be dealing with the moon, which would talk about a slight or momentary or temporary increase in our insight and intuition according to things going on in the fourth house. That would be the mother inside the car, inside the home, especially in the private spaces like the bathroom or wherever we put on our perfume or do our makeup, cologne even. Um, it could also just be privacy, the heart chakra. It could be the Kundalini rising as well. It's our private life where we go for peace and security. Okay, and then so that's where it's happening according to insight and intuition because it's the moon. But it's also going to manifest as Leo. So self righteousness is not really the bad kind, but also like self autonomy. Okay, and it's also like our heart barreling forward, spilling forward from ourselves. It's where we go to give love to ourselves and others. It's our generative energy. It's our spiritual self, to be honest. It's how we are in the heavens. So the overall cards are the Knight of Wands, the Star card, the World card, the Page of Wands. These are going to be the baseline overall energy for this entire reading, which is going to be imposed by the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Stroh. You can get that over at Liminal 11 Publishing on all the various sites. Okay, so then I repeat the four tarot cards that clarify or modify this entire gathering today are going to be the Knight of Wands, the Star card, the World card, the Page of Swords. So the Knight of Wands is about a returner. Some energy is coming back. Now the Knights drive things forward. Sometimes they expand according to drive, desires, passions, motivations. Okay, and this is going to be, since it's Wands, it's going to be spirit, karma, life, past, destiny. Again, that's repeated here with the Star card. Again, spirit, karma, life, past, destiny. The Star card talks about a bigger, brighter, better future using hope, faith, and optimism. It is about being guided by faith, not by sight. And it also talks about the calling on our life. With the World card here, it does confirm that we're completing something, and it's achievement versus, no, it's accomplishment versus achievement. That would be the sign. So the World card talks about some type of accomplishment. We're accomplishing our path. Now we're beginning to look squarely into the future. So our head is above the horizon, towards the stars, into the future. And then we have a little bit of combinatorial energy here. So from Los Carabeo, we will be using the Vida Sibila Daily Oracle to deliberate any findings for corresponding or correlative energy. So when you have the Page of Wands Star card, it can talk about Venus in the seventh house or a Aquarius rising. And then we also have a Leo rising here with the Knight of Wands and the Star card. Again, it would talk about Mars in the first house or to a lesser degree, in Aquarius, or basically a Leo rising. So for the Leo risings right now, the moon, well, I'm not going to talk about that because this is a general reading, but if you are Leo rising, the moon won't be in the fourth house for you, it'll be in the first house. But for the globe, for the collective, when there's a fourth house trigger, it means certain things happen. Things that affect our private life, basically, and our motherhood. whether it's us being a mother to somebody else or our particular mother. So something has been there this whole time and is starting to emerge because we're ready or we're standing in that energy 100%. We're like squaring up on a spiritual level. Six of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, yeah, King of Wands, full card. So full card with the Page of Wands is a new drive, a new impetus, a new calling. Our vision is bright. We know where we're going to take massive action because before something was a challenge, Five of Wands, Four of Cups. There's that fourth house energy right there, the Four of Cups. Something has come to the threshold, the precipice of our life. It was not knocking at the door, and now it's going to manifest. I don't know what that is, what that looks like, but that's what is going to happen here. All I know is that we made an achievement. And something is going to resolve itself because it's been a challenge for some time. With the Page of Swords, we could have been scrutinizing, collecting information, observing something. So we have three pages in this reading with the Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and also we have the Two of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles here. We have the Page of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Page of Swords. And all those energies together mean that we got the hotline to the divine, to source energy. This Two of Cups. It also means that in the next 2 weeks, we'll be on a completely new path, whether we like it or not, understand it or not. And doesn't mean that our life is going to change, but it may eventually. King of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Empress, Seven of Cups, Hierophant, Strength card of the Crown. So, remember I was talking about the Strength card. I was saying that, yes, zodiac-wise, it is Leo energy, Leone. However, astrologically, it's usually the sun conjunct either Saturn, Venus, or the moon in the sign of Leo, Cancer, Virgo, or in the fourth, fifth, or sixth house. Okay, to be precise for my students there. It's also the keeper of it's one of the flame keepers for my portal wardens or my flame keepers or my wrath bearers out there. It's one of the precursors of divine wrath, and it's one of the flame keepers of the red thread of life. So it's not the indigo or the violet flame or the sacred flame. It's the red thread of life. So the red flame, but it's not part of the twin. It's more of a sovereign. Typically, this is a demigoddess from a royal bloodline. I keep hearing the song. Sometimes I ride, sometimes I hide, sometimes I'm scared of you. The Strength card in the Eight of Cups is about clearing energy out. It's literally like Jesus kicking everybody out of the temple, banishing them even. Yeah, I am my mother's savage daughter. Yeah, so there's a wild energy here. It's not feral. It's just like it has great power. And it does appear to me that there was much, much, much spell work. Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. However, with the Strength card, that's put null. It's nullified. So there's an energy here that tried to manifest in our name, that tried to use our likeness. It's the second time in as many days we're talking about this. That some energy, entity, ideology attuned to or attached to our life path, spirit, karma, destiny. Maybe tried to steal our gift, maybe tried to steal our energy, maybe tried to harvest them. They might have even been doing the shape-shifting little thing, playing around in our energy, masquerading or cloaking themselves as us. It didn't work. And we have the double eight too. We have hopes, wishes. We have heart's ambitions and soul's desire, or soul's ambitions, heart's desires. So the star card is soul's ambition. The strength card is heart's desires. We have both. With the Empress and a bunch of eights, that's a sign that some type of witchcraft has been countered, not even blocked or rendered neutral, but countered. The Five of Wands. So that was karma, conundrums, competition, crossings, contestation, some kind of compounding, cascading cacophony of karma, crazy, competition. And it was some kind of low blow, some hater asshole. I hate to say it that way, but I needed to take it there. So we understand, okay? It is somebody with, la pinche mierda. They have some, whatever their little narrative is, good luck with you, honey. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be whole, may you be at peace. Blessings to your healing and exaltation. Kind of step up out of here. Uh, they wasn't with the business. And there's eyes here. Page of Swords. Seven of Cups. So there was an illusion, delusion, confusion. So type of glamour, gaslighting, mirage, something fake, phony, fictitious, false, even. It wasn't. The word is not fictitious. That's the Seven of Swords. We don't have that. We have the Seven of Cups. Something that was a mirage. It was a facade, glamour, mirror. We've stepped up out of that. We've stepped into our power. So essentially, what this is about strength cards of wisdom, emotional fortitude, strength card. On our end, is giving us God duties and responsibilities. We're a woman of great spiritual power. Strength card with the Empress, we're a powerful woman, a lioness, a goddess, a demigoddess. But also, we have some type of spiritual rank with the Empress in the Hierophant, and it's giving us a rank increase, Eight of Cups. The thing here is stratification. We become out of touch. You're out of touch. You're out of time. I've been rocking my head when you turn around. Okay, I love John Hall. I love Hall and Oates so much. She's golden. I don't even know if that's them, but I love them so much. Um, So when you have the Eight of Cups, the World card, or the Star card, we have what's called stratification, meaning we're no longer approachable, accessible, amenable, agreeable, even reachable to whatever old of the past, energy, entity, ideology, enemy that was trying to do witchy cuckoo, brujeria, santeria, whatever, what have you. They don't got no nothing on us. They ain't got no nothing for us because they ain't about nothing. They ain't nothing. That's what that is. That's what that be. And so we have all three of those. Normally, just one is enough to be like, talk to the hand, because the face at home, leave a message at home, beep, right? We got all three. Yo, homes. Ooh. Okay, so that's what that is. We're they just can't reach us. And with this Hierophant, it's by divine decree. It's like I feel kind of bad for you, whoever this other side is, because they did the most. They did King of Wands, King of Pentacles, witch, warlock, and a sorcerer. But we have two flames here. So we're a keeper of the thread of the red thread of life, strength card, and we're keeper of the sacred flame. So I mean, I just feel kind of bad for whomever this is because they messed up. So we're breaking out, breaking free, because we also have a seal of protection, Ace of Pentacles, full card. That's breaking out, breaking free. Because on both sides of us, what we know what we already know out in the open is that they tried to strip us of our destiny. And they got in our energy, trying to strip, harvest our energy. And it did work temporarily, but it didn't work consistently. Because something here has been granted favor. And honestly, something here on this other side isn't working anymore. And they're now under illusion, delusion, confusion. We've been cloaked or masked, masked. Something is masquerading. So we're going around looking different than how we truly are, but it's really a cloaking mechanism by the divine. And we have Adipata Shakti here. Empress with the world card is normally Parvati, Mami Weke, but we also have the strength card here, which brings it to, Gi. It brings it to like the compound goddess, the great mother, essentially. We also have Narishmi Ma, so Sekhmet basically, and Hathor here with the world card. We have the great goddess. And there's no emperor here. So these two kings, they're distorted in some kind of way, shape, form, or another, especially surrounded by fives. So on this end, this page was hoping to put us up as tribute. Maybe if something was able to infiltrate, penetrate our life, it wouldn't have been able to get an upper hand. It would have been able to get whatever receipt it was wanting. It feels like it put a lot of time, energy, effort, and attention into something, like it had a strategy, an agenda, Seven of Pentacles. It didn't really get off the ground. It was an illusion. It was a falsity. It was, I'm hearing fairy thoughts and fairy thoughts and periwinkle blue medallion. Gilded galleons spilled across the ocean floor. Yeah, so somebody's been yeah, I think somebody promised. I'm hearing more than what's here in these cards. Somebody promised something, thinking that they were going to be able to secure whatever we had, or set us up for sacrifice, and it didn't happen that way. And it was jealousy, Five of Wands. What they were able to do was use our whatever, but that's over. Because, you know, on a promise to be free, mermaids live in colonies. All his sea dreams come to me. Yeah, so somebody didn't understand the mysticism and the enigmatic of our life. They really didn't understand that we were pure. We were a pure vessel. And they had distortions. If they let evil, if they let greed, if they let all these pinchuku, you know, I don't have good, clean language. They let the dirty, the nasty up in them, in their feelings, in their heart. It took over their soul, their spirit. And they tried really hard to stay clean. They tried really hard to also assert whatever power they thought they had, because they did know more. They were more skillful, but they weren't more worthy or deserving, because there's a root nature. Just because we're new on the scene, or we didn't know better yet, or we didn't mean our potentiality wasn't there, and there was a promise on our life, a calling on our life. We were already sanctified and ordained to get this bigger, brighter, better future. So that's what I'm getting. I mean, I feel like we've been talking enough, and it's time to like clarify now, but so we have the Hierophant and the Six of Pentacles, something tried to access our power. You see this, the thief, 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 thief. Ilardos, the thief, or something suddenly turning around. Yeah, they did cause melancholia, like it wasn't spontaneous depression out of nowhere. What it was, excuse me, just a quick moment. So what's going on is that they were able to tap into, burrow into our energy, but they weren't able to take it and they weren't able to switch places with us, although they tried the hardest. This, whatever they were doing, is reached its absolute end, or it's on the way here. And so they were able to slow it down, but they weren't able to block it or stop it. I want to know what this Empress and this Two of Cups is, because they tried to, we were like this vessel, this pure, bright, empty vessel, this promising whatever. And they tried to do the most, whatever that looked like. They tried to fill us up with whatever their perspective was on life. They tried to lead us, or, but it didn't work. Because, first of all, they couldn't lead themselves, first of all. Second of all, they missed their chance, they missed their shot, they didn't go about it the right way. And they're being attached to us, or us coming to them for nurturing or guidance, that wrapped itself up. And to be honest, we got so fed up with them that we had to let them go. And that's just what that is, because them having access to our life, we weren't going to get what we needed. The thing we had to do was let them go. Is there a Leo rising here? Yeah, there's some Leo energy holding on to their affections. So there was some kind of attachment, and they might have also like tried to do some kind of, what this is giving me is a couple few things. And listen, a lust spell does not always mean somebody's trying to make us fall in love with them. They might be trying to gain a soft compliance because there's some type of infatuation. Doesn't always mean they want to, fall into bed with us or whatever. It could just mean that they don't want us opposing them as directly. Because once our energy has said stop, you know, don't speak. Once our energy has kind of gone there, their little spiritual mechanisms can't really get off the ground. It's almost like they needed to woo or soothe us into compliance, if not cooperation. And they did that thing, but it didn't really go anywhere because their understanding of the situation or perspective wasn't the real, true, genuine, bona fide anything. Because we walked up and out of, they did project something at us. They wanted to project that they were sovereign. They wanted to project that they were full of love. And it's not true. There ain't no Bjork. All is full of love. That's a no. It was ego, la superbia. They were peacocking, stunning in some kind of way. They wanted to show up to make us believe that they had the bee's knees, they had that juice, they had that base. But something about their energy was declining because all they could do is manufacture some kind of love. It was fake, phony, and fictitious. It wasn't real. It was a facade, a mirage. And they also have Mohini energy here, which is enchantress. So I'm here. I'm seeing sorcerer and warlock. I'm not seeing witch, but there's some witchcraft here and some spell work. So they might have been going through another being. They might have had, yeah, there's a racket here. It's very small. It's probably just like a one or two extra people in the little cabal. It's really more of like a clique than anything. But they had great hope because they felt like they had all the everything. We probably gave them a lot about our history, our past, how we got to where we are today, or before we, let them go. Yeah, la facita, the falsity, the lie, the con, the racket. This is one of the few cards that wish harm in the future. So, what it's saying is that their love was fake. They were there because they wanted to be yoked to whatever la fortuna, la ruota, whatever we had, whatever was about to come into our life. I keep hearing that, don't speak, there's a what? Wait, don't speak. I notice what you're saying. Cause I don't need your reason. Don't tell me cause it hurts. Yeah, see, it's all ending. We gotta stop pretending who we are. I'm sorry. I love her job. I love Gwen Stefani too. She's actually her and um Morrissey are like my top favorite artists. Joni Mitchell and Janis Ian, by the way. And then like my favorite bands are No Doubt and the Smiths. So it's like they're really up there, and the Fugees. But well, both of them actually, the Bee Gees and the Fugees. But it's like and Hall and Oates. But it's like they're high up there on the list. Um, so they're actually a little bit less masterful than us, but it didn't appear that way because we weren't. Those who do not seek power are more well equipped to wield it. That's by a quote by Cincinnatus, who was somebody who was a ruler of the Roman government. He got exiled to a little pasture land. War broke out, and they invited him back to rule to be the dictator. And he ruled for 16 days, put every matter to rest, and then abdicated and went back to his little farm. So what I'm getting is that there was some facade, some mirage, some glamour, some gaslighting to make us believe that this energy, entity, ideology we were connected to had all the answers. Totore. They were there by our side to be our knight in shining armor, to have everything, and then some thinking, trying to convince us what we needed. But in reality, they were dilettante. They wanted to yoke themselves to a portal keeper or uh, a flame keeper or a portal warden, somebody that had something coming through, who many lifetimes before had built up this thing in this life. They were really this, oportunidad. They were looking for a leg up, and they wanted to manufacture some kind of love. They wanted to create some type of burden or obligation for us so that we would be yoked to them. But we said no. I want to see what this Five of Wands with the Strength card is, because that's bringing order over chaos. We're tempering ourselves. So we actually provided our own medicine, but that's what they tried to do. They tried to create havoc in our life and then come through with the solution so that we would remain attached to them. Well, we decided to let it die, let it burn. You want to destroy me? Let it burn down to the ground. Break every window in my house, burn every single item. I'm never coming back. I'll die before I come back. And that's what it is. So what happened is that they ran out of fuel. There's nothing left. So they're out of ideas here. And also for us, it means the end of sickness. So they were a toxic, energetic parasite. Yeah, is it a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare? We know what the answer to that. And so there were so many aspects of our life that were blossoming and developing until we met this individual or this energy. Because something made it into our private life. It made it into our secure chamber. But we've just now become our own, I heard the word our own master, but so of course, when you vermifuge, when you turn the light on in the dark in the corner, the roaches run back. When you turn the light on in a room, the roaches run back to the corner. The ratas run back into the gutter. And that's what it is. It's ratas cucarachas. You know, pinche la mierda. That anything that like a fly, anything that survives in mierda and shit, that it just tells you what it's about. So there was this something was secured. They had successfully secured something that was some kind of mechanism that would drain us, that would strain us, that would harvest our energy, and it's over. It's ended. So what what has yet to happen for them is for their little thing to be put to rest, their little racket. But the thing that is true is that this is they go prospecting for victims, is what I'm being told. Something's coming back to us over the next couple few days. We're gonna get an alert as well. Things will start to happen. All the little alert, 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 we'll get alerts. Yeah, because this other end, whatever they've built, it's coming down. They're gonna try something one more time. They're gonna try to do the Riki Diki Sneaky Tweaky one more time, and they're gonna get caught. They're probably gonna try to steal something, and they're gonna get caught because their love is the thing that the appearance of them being loving, caring, generous, and kind, compassionate is what brought them favor, but that's running out. Yeah, caught up. Oops. Yeah, so they appear to be loving, but really what they are is they want people to give to them. And what they're hiding is that they're actually operating against people knowingly too. It's not accidental. So what is this in? Oh, so they no longer have access to us. It's just the thing. Finally, their loss of access is, yep. For a long time in the spirit, they tried to woo us, and it's weakened them so much that they just have to stop. And that's the thing. It took them like a year or whatever to be like, okay, this thing that I'm trying is not working. Because they were holding on, thinking that they could do something shady to make it work again, and they know they're going to have to give it up soon. Doesn't mean they're not going to try until it kills them, but that's just what the situation is right now. Let's check the correspond. I mean, that was the correspondence. So there's a double seven here. Let's check this pair of sevens. Yeah, so sevens are an alert. A double seven is alert, and we have this seven here. So there was manipulation. Something was sideways, sneaky, seditious, trifling, treacherous, treason, seven of swords. There's a directional energy here, which means that something got canceled out. They're not being honest about the fact that they got canceled. Something's over. We have a double king here. A pair of kings means an alliance. So they were in cahoots with one other being here. But it was over our spot. We have some type of throne, some type of consecrated or ordained space that's for us, that belongs to us. And they got revoked. Their credentials, their clearance got revoked. Sixes can be access to something. Five is a revocation. The three of swords is a suspension. The five of swords is a revocation. The 10 of swords is a cancellation. They already got the 10 of swords. Now they got the five of swords. So, and it took a long time because we had to mature. There were a lot of delays along the way, but we needed to kind of, so we have a triple. First, we have to do this pair of eight. Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. So a double eight means time, energy, and indulgences or manipulation. So five fell face down, they're being stripped, going through some type of hardship. Five of Pentacles, there something's being depleted, diminished, diluted, distorted, disowned. It might be degraded now, debilitated, decline. It's a decline. Five of Pentacles, a hardship, basically, and it's on their side. So they're feeling a hardship. Their place in the grand scheme of things, Ten of Cups is being stripped. They're being stripped of their place in heaven because they can't stand next to us anymore without paying for what they've done. Now we go to this pair of pages. It's a set. Excuse me. It's a triple. It's a triple page. So firstly, the overall kind of energy here that we have is something's moving on, moving on. We have another pair of eights. Collectively, they're trying to use whatever they got access to, with whomever they're collaborating with. And that's actually not going to happen. So energy is going to start moving back towards us. There's going to be what's called a restoration pretty soon. And let's see how that goes for them. Yeah, so they're making karmic causes. They've got to give something up. Once we make a sacrifice to go towards what we need to do, this is going to really begin to work out. Pretty soon, we're going to take a risk that's going to completely excise them from our life. And what it is we're just going to move further in alignment with our path. We're going to put something down, a burden or something. We're going to completely give a sanctuary. We're going to take action in a way that's going to give a sanctuary of refuge. This is sanctuary, which means refuge and safe space. Yeah, so we're going to keep on keeping on. Yeah, you got to hold your head up high. You got to work with what you got. So we're going to start to make the best out of our situation in a way where we're not crestfallen, we're not melancholy, we're not depressed. Yeah, something bad happened, something horrible probably happened, but we're moving on, moving forward. And that's going to push them out of our energy entirely. Yeah, because what they want is for us to remain confused. They want us kind of putting our attention into the wrong place so that they can still do whatever they're doing. But see, that's a backfire. It's not going to work. We are being haunted or targeted or whatever in whatever way. So what we're going to do is just face the fear, face the music. We're going to confront that thing that terrifies us. So we might have been conned and fooled into doing something or spending our energy somewhere, trying to build something that we have to leave behind. And that's what we're going to do. Something's getting canceled out here. Because we're now golden goose. We're worthy of an inheritance here. And we know it. We're going to do the, see, we have judgment and discernment. And all they have is a falling house. They have a cursed throne. Okay, so that was, what is this pair of fives? Okay, another five. So five of wands, five of wands. So the battle, the struggle, yeah. See, they want to win at all costs because they're pretty masterful. But the thing is we're actually rather adept as well, and we don't trust them or feel safe. So it doesn't matter. We can both impose something onto the situation, and that's what's putting it at a standstill. So it's been an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to serve. Thank you for allowing me to do so. If anything resonated deeply with you, go ahead and smash that like button. As I said, Vertex of Abundance is a galactic temple of ascension, delivering sacred messages from behind the veil. This was a message about us grabbing the bull by the horns, taking back what's ours, and managing what was given to us by our birthright, which put us back into the vantage point, the high ground that we're supposed to be on. And so there's a recurrence, a reunion, a restoration, if you would, or at least a rejuvenation. So we're going to be put back on our own throne, which was usurped by some person who appeared to help us in the beginning, but they were just a thief, a thief. Okay. So just a quick prayer to all those still lost to their illusion, delusion, confusion, lost in the seas of time, trapped somewhere in the matrix, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the resplendent grace of the divine unconditional love and universal oneness. Upon, we love you. We're sorry. Please forgive us. Thank you. We pray that your steps are ordered, your path illuminated, and that you find salvation and redemption in this lifetime. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be whole. May we be at peace. May we receive everything we ever wanted, starting with what we deserve, until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dandava, Anashe, Sayonara, Das Vidanya, Avidadain. Take good care. Mushi, mushi, sway, sway. Bye-bye. See you in the next one. Go ahead and smash that like button. Ciao.